What is going on? I'm Zedmont, and we already have code Zedmont over there in the shop. We're going to focus on warships today, even though we've got the most overpowered troops possible loaded in our landing craft. So I, like a bunch of you out there, have made it to gold, just fizzling people or making people be somewhat slow, falling out of the top 500, just to show you that. Yesterday, I think I was like 290 or something in gold, and now lots and lots and lots of you are getting to gold. And you can see, like, people are only separated by a couple stars at this point. So very, very, very many people using a very similar path. This account is in 4 engine rooms, as you've seen. Don't have Bombardiers yet or mechs yet. A little bit of medkit, a little bit of critter, a little bit of Monica, and we've got some troop health and all the rest. Just Kavan, rifle, Zuka, and trying to be quick and falling in and out of gold. Shout out to Angry Zendo there. We were both fighting to get back into gold and got the tie, which is pretty much, that's ideal scenario. My times are generally like 149, and then we're at 154, 149. So not super duper quick, but fast enough for the second. We will show you that next jog in the decking is coming, and I am not looking forward to it. It is going to be super slow to get around there. I'll show you a 153 here. Let's show you that time. 154, just depending on the base. And so what I'm doing is just trying to get my rifles up front with some Zukas. That's all you need for that right-hand side. And when they've got a flamethrower over there, I am throwing the Zukas in front of the flamethrower and the rifles over by that sniper tower. Just that way the Zukas you don't need your rifles by those flamethrowers. And then just leaking troops up that left-hand side, and some critters to clear mines. You guys probably know this by now, but figured I would just show you what I'm doing in case it's ever so slightly helpful. And critters, you can get by with like tick 3-ish critters. I hate the way critters act right now since the update, by the way. I assume that's how it's supposed to be, but that doesn't mean that I have to like it. And then we're just getting our troops through, and if you can get rid of hotpots with 1 shock, you're doing pretty well. It's when you have to use 2 or even 3 shocks on a hotpot when your attack just goes absolutely, absolutely south. And then as we get close to things, just trying to keep going. Not sure why I switched to 4 times mode there, but then just flaring onto that final engine room and then delaying the shock as long as I possibly can. My shocks are not maxed, so I have to be a bit careful, and losing some riflemen as they walk towards that final engine room, not a big whoop whatsoever. But this is the one. Still, I told you on day 1, I'm holding true to my tech plan, and this one is ready. You can see right there, we've got 57, and we've got another chest here. That's going to bring us up to, what is that, 75, and then that next chest is going to bring us up into the 5 engine room level, and people are going to have to take, as soon as that happens, I can possibly rank up a little bit, but that's still not even the priority. The fact that they're going to have to walk their Kavan rifle all the way back to here is going to be mind-crushing, soul-crushing for a bunch of players, and that's just going to get me, hopefully, a couple ranks up, but more importantly, even 1 step closer to rocket launchers, which will be fun, and shock launchers, which will also be fun, that I will not have tokens for either of them. But the bigger goal here is, of course, rocket choppas, and that is why I went backwards here and got that troop damage. That's my only straying off the main path, was to get flamethrowers, which I didn't care about, and troop damage, which I will need for rocket choppas. Maybe in the wrong order, perhaps, but we're doing okay. As you can see here, I'm only playing like every 12 hours because I need to maintain in iron, and the chances of going down are better than the chances of going up. And my attack's 216, which is halfway decent against bases with mines and things. Just all rifles on that right, and then a bunch of rifles on the left with a bunch of bombardiers and some med kits to try and keep my rifles alive, and some shocks, and just walking through all of the things. So we do have 5 boats of rifles and 3 boats of bombardiers, and definitely losing some bombardiers along the way, but just going and kamikaze flare after kamikaze flare after kamikaze flare. So I'm gonna just magically wait here for 41 minutes and 57 seconds to stop, and then we'll just be in 5 engine room and life will be grand. Okay, so we got the keys. One lost, 2, I do think. We're going to jump into 5, and suddenly that looks very, very far away. P2 is a long walk from, is that B2? I don't know what, I'm guessing, let's just think here for just a second. Yeah, that would make sense. B1 being bow 1 and bow 2 and port 2 and port 3 and starboard. Yeah, my nautical terms are up to snuff, clearly. We are going to drop, let's just go like this. Let's just make someone go all the way back there, and then we'll move this over into this neighborhood, and we'll put maybe like a flamethrower there and a machine gun there, and yeah, you get the basic gist of it. Probably need to be a little bit careful back here. Let's be honest, someone's going to throw some critters back there just to try to stop walking all the way back. So we're going to throw a flamethrower about there. And now they got to come all the way to the far here. Then they got to go all the way around with a big gap in the middle just to let their troops bunch up a little bit. And then let's throw, they got to go to here. Let's just go something like this. We don't care about that middle. Like this one back here, you can just do your worst on that. Not too concerned about it. Defense, not a priority. Let's jump in. See if we're going to match a 5 or a 4. I assume we're going to get a 4 or a 3 or even a 2 at this level. But most important part about this video is just to remind you that bad things are coming. So I keep seeing people like, oh, I might as well go get mortars. Oh, you know, critter launchers aren't that too far off the path. Well, rocket launchers, shock launchers, rocket choppas are ahead. So I know you can get gold right now by just spending in 3 or 4, but keep in the back of your mind that while you're doing that, people are getting rocket launchers and rocket choppas. And rocket choppas cutting across that gap is going to be just massive because there's not many people who have got boom cannons. Like, there's a couple people who have boom cannons, but let's be honest, there are not many. And boom cannons are not doing much good. And against the squishy troops, I just have to assume that if people are doing tech tree that I'm on, but better, as in not spending your tokens on things like I am, you're going to have just like crushing results. So we will try to get a match, and here's the problem. Going to be a while, but there we go. What do we got? And of course, they are a 4, and we should just be able to walk through this base. We are just going to send, let's get you out there. And then we'll drop all of these guys and then one more of these guys. And I'm just going to slowly but surely funnel these guys out here. And we are going to use a med kit or 2 just to try to get some of those guys working their way forwards. And now just walking through the base, clearing as many mines as we possibly can. And the fact that our bombardiers hit a shock mine, not the worst thing in the world at all. So we don't need to use a med kit quite yet because our bombardiers for the most part are all the way alive, but we are going to send all of these guys around here, and the fact that we've leaked our guys out one by one is going to help us in a massive way because we still have hordes of zombies coming to join the fray, and they're going to spread out, and we're going to get a med kit on our bombardiers just to try to keep them alive. And don't have to kamikaze nearly as much because they got to walk all the way around. And we know for a fact that they are walking. As we start to match up against 5 engine room players, we won't know for sure if they're walking or flying across, and that is when the season is going to start getting interesting, in my opinion. These, I've not been critical. I've been biting my tongue, but these narrow decks that is the one mistake on this season that I wish was not there. So let's just get going. We're going to get our flare out. We're going to get our shock out. And now, as long as I don't utterly and completely bung this up, which is very, very much possible, by the way, we're going to get a shock on that stuff. Hot pot's not going to do a thing. We're going to get one more flare out there, and then just need our dudes to get rid of that engine room before that hot pot melts their face. So we got 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Bombardier's not super duper quick. Let's see what possible Arabic name had to do. They got 2 minutes, so they are going to be quick still. I'm assuming they're going to go all rifles. That's what I would do against this. Yeah, actually, they got some Zookas in there. Might want to go all rifles, and they're right there. We saw that coming. We talked about that, how they were going to critter that engine room, so I'm just going to, you know what? Let's lean in a little bit more. We need a couple more flamethrowers. Let's just bring all of these flamethrowers around here. We're going to spread them out 7 tiles apart. There's 5, 6, 7. You should not be able to shock that one and that one, I think. Let's just double check our math. That is only 4. 1, 4. There we go. We're going to have to go something like that and like that. And then we're just going to bring a machine gun in just for good measure. Let's put you in about there. Like, we don't, like, if they critter one of these ones, we don't really care because they're still going to have to go there in the first place. So, tempted to almost bring, like, you around, but let's not get too carried away. So, this engine room right here is really, really, really the crux of it all. So, we're just going to bring some mines in there. Let's bring a shock mine or 2 in there as well, just to really, really, really frustrate our opponents. We could hide it a little bit better than that, but let's just leave it out there just to show them that there's no chance of doing what they want to do. That far side, let's just put 2 flamethrowers over there just to make it extra obvious. And now let's get back in. Let's get down to business. Songs for the peoples. And here's the problem. Finding opponents. There are lots and lots and lots of matches at the 4 engine room. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. We got a 4 yet again. And you know the drill. We're going to send you over here and you there. And then you guys are just going to get walking. Sending those guys through on that left-hand side. Wish I had critters. Critters would be very helpful when it does come to using those beautiful, beautiful flying joppas. But we need to get to them first. And so right about now, it is all full speed ahead is what I was trying to say, because we just need to get going to those beautiful, beautiful flying troops that are going to really, really make this deck interesting. And the decks are not interesting at the second, but they will be very interesting once flying troops come into play. So I'm really, really looking forward to that business. And now just need to get a shock out here, because why the heck not? We'll get a shock out. Should be able to look at that shock. That is just a thing of absolute beauty. This person does have critter launchers, but I have this feeling they're probably regretting it. Although I do have them as well on my other account. I never know what to call my accounts. Is this my main? Is my account that's at a higher level considered my main? And we are just going to shock our way through all this stuff, which is going to be very, very, very dangerous, because we need to clear as much of this stuff as we can, and we definitely need some of our rifle dudes to stay alive so that we can clear all of this stuff, because there's too many gosh darn boom mines, and my Bombardier is just getting wreckazoided. So now then, let's just get going. We don't need to plan too much. We've got enough rifles that they should be able to just walk through this stuff. And we have more than enough GBE that we can just throw a shock about there, trying to keep some of our dudes alive. But we don't even really need that shock, to be completely honest. And then we'll just shock that flamethrower right about there and get a med kit out, and we're going to get around 2 minutes almost every single time using Bombardiers. No fizzles. I haven't fizzled this entire season, I don't think. And now, you see that? Yeah, there we go. So those flamethrowers and machine guns and the like just eating up all of their GBE as they're using Grenadiers, which Grenadiers are not a bad option because they don't cost GBE and they let you throw extra critters compared to Bombardiers. But as you can see here, our flamethrowers and things are doing a halfway decent job of slowing them down, making them use every single little bit of their GBE. And we can even move a couple extra defenses back here. You know what? I think we could probably just move this one right here all the way back there as well, just to make it extra ridiculous. So they're going to have to throw all sorts of shocks back here, and we will move a shock mine as well, just to really lay the hurt down. And I am looking good, folks. It's looking like 13 might be open. This account, when you're trying to collect in iron and you know your tech is bad, you just need to hide in a big way. And for those of you who are unaware, you can save engine rooms for your next chest by force closing or quitting before your opponent ends. So I haven't had to do that much yet, but that's definitely on the horizon. And tech tree, some of you guys doubted it. It very much is starting to look great. We finally reached our first push point, which means that I can start ranking up a little bit because people have to walk all the way around. Like, there's just no option. That engine room that is sitting right there, there's no way to take it down without critters or artillery or both, or just walking all the way around. And yeah, that's a long walk when you're using. And someone commented and said, well, at least you've got mechs now. And well, I would love to see someone walk mechs all the way around there, because that to me sounds like a terrible time. We're going to drop you. And yes, that is fully intentional to drop our rifles on the side there, because you're going to see in a second here, we're going to get them walking on an angle, which is going to let them clear even more mines, and you get a little bit of extra value doing that. In my experience, they do clump up in the end, but at least we get a little bit of a wide spread there, a tiny bit, and now we'll just get a med kit and we'll try to keep them coming through. And there are our diagonal rifle dudes clearing mines bit by stinking little bit. And as a result, we're able to walk through lots of mines with some medkits and some rifles lagged. Probably should get lagging a couple more. Is lagging the right term? I think so, but again, up to your interpretations, as our rifles draw the fire away from all of the things, and our bombardiers just cruise through unharmed. No big whoop. All of their mines were set up at the front, and now, oh, we lost a bombardier to that boom mine. That was less than ideal. So now then, let's get going. I got that let's get down to business stuck in my head yet again, but what we're going to do is, after we get rid of, you know what, let's just go right about now onto that engine room, and then we're just going to rush towards that final one. And they've done kind of the same thing that we have, in the fact that they just said, well, you're going to have to walk back here anyways. And so that is what we're going to do, my friends. We are just going to walk back there. And if we have to shock the flamethrower, I'm not overly concerned about it, because we will be out of its area by the time our troops get to that flare. Hopefully, there we go. So there is the flare that is still barely active, and we have finally reached a push point. So if you've been following this tech tree, you should be golden about now. We're getting 2 minutes, 2 seconds, and our opponent has to walk all the way around, and they're doing a halfway decent job. They got heavies. That is the first time I've seen heavies on the season. Let's just go back and remind ourselves where heavies are on the tech tree. Okay, so they went down and got medics and heavies. That is a questionable choice, my friend. I don't know where that's going to pay off for you for a long while, because heavy choppas are way over there. Anyways, do stick to the path. We have got ourselves a winning combination now. And if I can get up into rank 14, I will have rocket launchers, which would be quite nice, I do think, because we could just set up a couple rocket launchers and slow people down even further, and probably put them like where this machine gun is, or maybe where this one is, because they could reach this one and this one and this one a little bit, making people use their critters on the rocket launchers instead of these back engine rooms. So lots and lots of good things on the horizon. Do keep in mind that I've got some more videos coming, possibly some sneak peeks and more tech goodness as we keep spending those diamonds to get our rocket choppers up. But at the same time, I need to go back to the vault and take some gold out of my resource boat, filling that puppy up, getting our rocket choppers moving, and I've got a lot of things to do in my base in general, and especially in my armory. So we're going to speed up this a little bit. Let's bring the costs down a little bit. I love the fact that you can combine time savers with diamonds. And now as Rudy goes up a level, we look to see, I think I've actually got a gunboat upgrade I could do down here. Let's have a look-see. So we are short iron. If you look at my gunboat, like we've got basically 200-ish million resources and then 2,000 iron, just showing that I need to get back on getting all of my iron resource bases so that we keep those numbers pumping up. That's all for me, though. I am Zedmont. I have already lost touch with the leaderboard on Dr. T Volcano. We knew that was going to happen. People up at 2,600. Mr. Pietrek putting the effort in to stay up there. Vegetarian Pig, another beast player. Second Tau. Like, these are all a lot of names that you probably recognize from the Warships leaderboards. Anyways, that's it for me. Like, share, subscribe. More importantly, hit me up in the comments. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in, tech treeing with me. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.